Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Animefied. Let's dive deep into anime called Engage Kiss. Watch till the end so that you don't miss some good stuff. Let's get started. Shu Ogata is an orphan who lost his parents to a demon that he can't remember. To avenge them, Shu gives his memories one by one to a demon, in exchange for the power of one day finding them. But he loses everything in the process. Shu meets up with Ayano, and Ayano is visibly upset with Shu for leaving her company. Shu has been broke as he hasn't had a job in almost 3 months and doesn't have the money to pay for the dinner. But it doesn't stop there. Our chivalrous man also asks her to pay his phone bill for him. He enters his home and finds Kisara sitting there, having prepared a pile of garbage. Sorry, I meant cabbage, for him to eat. She smells a woman's scent on him, but Shu distracts her and begins eating. They are currently broke, but Shu promises that he will win the next auction to make them money. He enters a rift with others and accepts the lowest payment for dealing with the monster in the casino. He goes towards the casino with Ayano, and they fight off the demon. Shu sneaks around as the others distract it. He attempts to attack it but gets kicked off, and as he is about to be killed, Kisara shows up to defend him. Kisara fights against the demon but is too weak, so she decides to show public affection in front of everyone. Wait, what am I watching? She comes from the fog in a new outfit. She finds Ayano and gets angry at her, as she was Shu's ex. She realizes Ayano had the same smell Shu had when going home. They completely forget about the monsters and begin attacking each other, conveniently killing all the monsters in the process. Kisara begins slashing away at Shu and asks him for a spare key. This girl can literally pass through walls. What does she need a key for? He throws her the key, and she rushes towards the monster. Shu readies his gun, and Kisara slashes at the monster. Shu unleashes his gun and fires to shoot the demon down in his place. This demon wasn't a problem, as it was just B ranked, and Kisara happens to be a class demon hazard on their side. Kisara gets in bed with Shu and takes a photo for her socials. The next day, Prince Charming appears. His name is Hachisuka, the son of the mayor, and flirts with Kisara. However, she just ignores him and leaves him. Meanwhile, we have an intense plot development session going on. Ayano notices Kisara's post. She is also Kisara's only follower, and she is enraged at Shu. Someone is planning on assassinating the mayor at the next festival, and Shu is there as he will be paid $3,000 for his successful mission. This is his first payday in 3 months, and he will surely not waste it. Miles appears, the person who took care of Shu for a year. More plot development progresses. There is an eye that appears to be staring at Shu while he is smoking with Miles. Ayano hears the mayor proclaim that this city allows everyone to find security, but she knows that is a lie, as there are people like Shu and Kisara who are barely able to afford to eat. The demon appears from the darkness, ready to slash away at the mayor, but gets choked by Kisara. Even more plot progression occurs. Bullets come flying at the lizard demon, but he just disappears. Shu is about to end him, but the demon reminds Shu that the mayor covered up his family's death and disappears. Shu orders an express gun delivery for $3,000, and Kisara loses her mind. Shu says that he loves her bean sprout cooking anyway. The truck knocks the demon out, and he realizes he no longer needs the gun. Shu's sister is running around, looking for her parents, but they are dead. She apologizes to her brother as she disappears, and Shu wakes up from his nightmare. He looks at his family's portrait. A doctor sprints to the top of a building while on the phone with someone who wants him to sign a contract. The doctor asks for the most powerful contract and becomes a giant caterpillar. The electricity is off at Shu's home with Kisara as they eat bean sprouts. At a park, Shu is sitting with Ayano, and they see 2 guys going for a jog. Oh yeah, the old plot progression. Shu reveals that he has obtained early access to information regarding the demon from an interesting information source. Kisara emerges from the fountain's water. At the auction, Shu realizes that he has information before everyone else at a much faster speed, and he again outbids the other plebs at the auction. But Ayano's mom reveals that the caterpillar actually has the electricity of the city for an entire week inside it. They nullify the auction, and Shu is upset by this. He thinks that Ayano may have played a part in causing the auction to be forfeited. A man sitting with Miles learns that Shu has obtained classified information early. It is revealed that Shu and Kisara were going to be eliminated by the city, but they were stronger than all of them. Ayano's mom fires guns at the caterpillar, but they do nothing. It transforms into a butterfly. Ayano's mom calls Shu, asking him for help in this situation. Kisara hugs Shu. She asks him what he's going to give her now. He tells her that he will give her a full 3 months of his memories from 3 years ago. That was when he started living with Ayano, and Kisara asked him what his objective was. His memories are so lost that he can't even remember the outfit Ayano wore on their first date. Shu kisses Kisara, and Kisara calls him the worst guy ever. He's willing to kiss a woman he doesn't even love to achieve his goal. He's even willing to lose his memories of the girl he loves so he can save her. Kisara powers up and saves Ayano from being crushed. Kisara fights the demon off, but Shu appears to forget part of his objective. He aims at the demon, readies his gun, and fires his bullet. However, it isn't enough. Shu spits out another bullet, readies his gun again, and fires. Once it lands, dust begins to shake off a spear underneath. Shu is beginning to forget everything. Ayano runs in and fights against a demon. She finds out that the demon is the same guy that they saw in the park. A woman screams out his name. Kisara and Shu have a cute dinner without electricity, and Kisara takes an Instagram photo. More plot develops, and Ayano's friend makes fun of her for dating Shu when he was a minor. Kisara finds Ayano next to a love hotel with a security guard and posts it to her story. Ayano confronts Shu about this, but they are alerted about the ongoing demon situation. Ayano's captured demon has died, and there appears to be a gang war ongoing. Shu asks Ayano to team up with him to take down the demons, but Ayano cries at him. She hates that he never compromises, that he always wants to jump into danger headfirst without considering anyone else. She remembers when Shu had his first birthday party with her. She had prepared a cake for him, but he never showed up. He was too busy chasing demons that Ayano hadn't been able to capture. Shu, however, has no memory of any of that happening. He pretends that he remembers, but Ayano already knows he is lying. She cries and leaves. Ayano is crying under a bridge, and Kisara comes to see her. She reveals that she remembers that night when she was waiting for Shu. She recalls what she said to Shu and what she wore for him. She was planning on surprising him that night by allowing him to complete the plot development. Those memories now only remain within Kisara. Kisara explains to Ayano that Shu loses his memories every time he kisses her. This is the way she is able to gain power each time. Kisara tells Ayano that Shu is offering everything to find the one who murdered his family. Ayano has been attempting to interfere with Shu so that he doesn't die, as he is too reckless. Kisara doesn't care if she eats every last bit of him, because he'll be able to achieve his objective, and because she'll be the last girl he'll ever be with. Shu gets a flying arrow that gives him information about the gang war. He jumps right in. There is a woman dressed in red who is killing the police officers. Shu fires at her, but she blocks his bullets with her sword. She uses her agility to flee and jumps from mirror to mirror, avoiding Shu. One of the officers mentions Maria, the name of the woman who screamed when she saw her loved one dead. Ayano is walking alone at night and is about to be slashed. Kisara comes to save Ayano and chases off the demon. Shu explains that she can jump through mirrors, and she is ready to attack Ayano. Kisara chases the demon but instead develops her own plot. Ayano's security has dinner with Shu and explains that it is strange how he obtained his information extremely fast and jumped into battle. He tells Shu that he knows about the story of how he lost his family, and that he actually believes him. Ayano is sitting with her mom, who tells her the same story about Shu. Ayano is also locked inside a warehouse, and her mom can't stare at her, so the demon can't jump in, as it appears to be targeting Ayano. The security man tells him that he should stop using the information from a man he can't even see, and that his informant is likely just using and exploiting him. He tells Shu to trust him, a person that he can see, and that he will help Shu. Shu is sad, realizing that there is finally someone who believes in him. The detective attempts to find the guy associated with the demon, but when they enter the apartment, they find him to be dead. Shu enters Ayano's warehouse. Plot develops. Ayano asks Shu about his goal of finding his family's murderer. Ayano understands now that Shu left Ayano whenever he was no longer receiving training from her mother. Ayano reveals that she would have done anything to stay by Shu's side. Shu tells Ayano that he thinks his sister may still be alive as he has been seeing her in his dreams. This was the reason he left Ayano 3 years ago. There may have been a chance of saving his sister. Ayano tells him that she will no longer attempt to stop him, and that she will no longer be in his way. She covers his eyes and kisses him. She continues kissing him and tells him this is the last time. This is the first time a protagonist is a Chad rather than a wimp. A water drop falls in the warehouse, and the demon slashes the couch, but they aren't there. Kisara slashes away at it and finds Ayano. She headbutts her and begins crying, telling her that she has nothing to worry about. Kisara grips Shu's back with the sword, warning him that she will go all out to force him. She comes out and fights off the demon. Shu awakens with his bullet in hand. Ayano asked him about it earlier, but Shu has no memory of what just happened because he went blank. Shu punches away at the demon. He throws the bullet with all his might, and Kisara shoves the bullet into the demon's chest, killing her. a mysterious nun approaches a building, saying she has found it, comparing it to a photograph with Kisara in it. She enters the building and fights against a man who appears to be very strong. She, however, simply takes care of cops and him before fleeing the scene as if she were in a movie. Ayano has been living with Shu, cleaning his house and cooking him meals since Kisara has not arrived. Shu has no idea what's been bothering her, and Ayano pretends she doesn't know either. Kisara is sad and sitting under a bridge in the rain. She opens her phone and finds messages from Shu but ignores them. She isn't mad at him, as he can't remember anything that happened. In a flashback, she remembers when Shu approached her. She was a stone statue with a spear shoved inside of her. Shu attempted to take out the spear, and Kisara began to attack him. Shu wanted to talk to her. He told her she was what he wanted. Her stone face breaks, and she stops fighting. She opens her phone and finds an Instagram photo of Ayano with him. She throws her phone away. Shu sits on a bench, and a mysterious man comes behind him. Shu attempts to ignore him, but the man tells him to look into the trash, and he finds a tablet in there. He sees the nun kicking off a strong man, and her name is Celestial Abbey. The man disappears, and Shu attempts to chase him. He hides behind a brick wall and escapes. Shu learns from Ayano's mom that the nun is from another organization that wants to eliminate the demons. However, she is here mainly to eliminate Kisara, as no one else has been able to. She also happens to be much stronger than any of the previous people that have fought against Kisara, so she could be dangerous. Later that night, Ayano's mom is greeted by the nun, and Ayano's mom realizes that the nun will be going after Kisara and Shu. Ayano comes in to save her mother. The nun's name is Sharon, and she steals Ayano's phone. Kisara is spammed by messages from Ayano, but the nun has sent a picture of herself. Ayano calls Shu before entering his house to stay protected. The door comes breaking in on him, and he falls to the floor. The nun runs down and smashes the ground at Shu. Shu gets in a defensive position, and Sharon launches a kick that he dodges. He attempts to attack her, but she already knows his moves. She gets on top of him with her legs on his face, telling him that she knows all of his attack moves because they are the same as Ayano's. She reveals that they last met 3 years ago when he took her to Cloud 9, and Shu is shocked. He says, "Wait, who are you again?" Sharon gets mad and starts to beat the living crap out of him. Kisara comes in to save Shu by slashing her away. Sharon faces off against Kisara and appears jealous that Shu has forgotten her. She reveals that she has beaten Kisara once in the past and recalls memories from Kisara's mind play. She sees Sharon stabbing her in the back, and Kisara begins attempting to attack her. Before she is able to kill Sharon, Shu shoots her in the head, and she is launched into the stone pillar. Kisara attempts to slash at Sharon, but Sharon dodges and prepares her own attack. Military personnel come with Ayano as their leader. Sharon runs away, and Kisara goes to take care of Shu. Kisara is about to kiss him, but Ayano pulls her hair. Shu is dreaming and sees a spear inside of his sister as she begs for him to save her. He calls for Kisara and tells her to save Kana. She sucks out her energy, and they both disappear in front of his eyes. Sharon hijacks a ship and opens the constraints on it. She finds a suit of armor. Kisara explains the story behind Sharon to Ayano. She tells her that 3 years ago, when Shu dumped her and came running to Kisara, there was another person in the cave. Sharon attempted to kill Kisara while Shu was attempting to break her seal. They forcefully pinned her down and penetrated her, and she whimpered at how a hard object entered her abdomen. Diggity. Sharon wanted her dead, but Shu needed her alive, so he was sleeping with Sharon while she was about to kill Shu. Shu used a poison to freeze her in place. Shu, however, has no memory of Sharon, just like he doesn't remember sleeping with Ayano because Kisara is the best girl. Plot develops. A lot of the plot develops. Kisara heads inside a warehouse, and Sharon begins to fire at her. She is now wearing a red mecha suit to make sure she is able to handle Kisara. Kisara rushes forward past the bullets and slashes down at Sharon. Sharon parries the hit, and Kisara regenerates the lead bullets against her. Sharon releases her tentacles, and they puncture Kisara. Ayano goes to give flowers to Shu but finds him missing. Meanwhile, Kisara is attempting to run for her life. She dodges the tentacles coming from the ground but falls as they ambush her. A slash goes deep into Kisara's abdomen, and she falls over. As Sharon walks forward, an explosion comes, and Shu holds onto Kisara. Kisara looks at Shu and asks him what his reason is for wanting her. Revenge against demons. Understanding who murdered his family or saving his sister. Is she just a pawn for him? Shu kisses her and keeps kissing her to keep her quiet. He tells her to take his memories away from him, but she refuses. He tells her that he'd rather die before kissing a demon, but he only does so because he loves her. He hugs her, and she powers up, healing her wound. She powers up and lunges toward Sharon, destroying her armor. Kisara knows that she is being deceived and used by him, but she doesn't care. She will allow him to continue to deceive her until she dies because she did this to him. She is the symbol of his downfall. She doesn't care about anything other than having him stay alive with her. To Kisara, every other woman can be destroyed. Sharon is absolutely destroyed. Shu asks her if that was too far going against a human. Kisara tells him that she has been living with him each and every day, and that she will go back to living with him because she removed his memories of when she was living under the bridge without him because she is the best girl. Mr. Mikami is still attempting to find out who is supplying Shu with information and controlling the demon hazards behind the scenes. He creates a list of people who it could be, and one of them happens to be Ayano. She walks in, finds out she's being investigated, and gets mad at Shu. Ayano's mom and the mayor are also being investigated, but they call his accusations dumb. However, they do believe that the director of police is likely the culprit, as no one knows who this person truly is and he seems to strongly oppose demon hazards. Shu visits Sharon and tells her not to make any lewd noises as he has guns loaded in that department. He asks her if she knows the person who is behind all the demons in the city. She tells him that he truly doesn't remember anything and that all memories are connected in some way. Even if Kisara takes small parts of them, he will lose the important parts. She tells him that he asked her about Asmodeus, but Shu doesn't remember that at all. She tells him that he will soon not remember or feel anything once all his memories are taken away. She tells him that the guy he is chasing is underneath his nose. He is the arsonist who is always at the scene of the fire. He is always where the demons are. Mr. Mikami is still attempting to solve this case, but Miles heads home after a long day. Mr. Mikami looks at his computer screen, and a person comes from the darkness. Mr. Mikami realizes who the culprit is. So, this brings us to the end of part 1. There will be part 2. Please subscribe to this channel and ring the bell icon so that you do not miss the finale. See you in the next video. Peace.